Okay, it's the 1st of March, and we're getting ready to take a trip next week down Natchez Trace. We're going to go spend about half a week, or a week, almost a week down there and back. I'm just going to with a buddy of mine. He's going to stay in a tent, and I'm going to stay in tag. So I've got the tag set up for one person. So what I'm going to do with this video is I want to show you some of the mods and things you might need for if you're just starting out with the tag. These are things that I've found that work pretty good, and I've also got these ideas from some of the Facebook places. So this is going to show you just what I've done. First off, this is going to be my third trip, to be my first long range trip. So what I've got, I had to go out and buy a tire. So there's the tire underneath. Stays under pretty nice. You have to put a little board in there just to kind of keep it from wobbling around. But I bought that for a little under $100 at Rural King. One thing you will also need is you will need a jack handle. You'll need this here. Make sure it's the right lug for what you got. And I got inside of here I got a little 2-ton bottle jack. And so at the very least you're going to need that. So that's what I've got on that. And what I've done, I'll start up here on front. Some of the things I've done and noticed. Of course, you always want to have a locking mechanism. I've got to get one for the actual tongue when it's on the car as well, but this is for when it's off. They can still bust these things off here and steal it, but at least that makes them somewhat honest. So anyway, inside of here, what I've done is I've got a regular hose, and what I've also done is gone out and got this flex hose. This is one of those super duper hoses you see on TV ads. This is an extra long one. This one here, if it's not long enough, then this usually makes it long enough, and then plus it stores real well. So I've got that in there, and I've also got my mats in here. If they're plastic mats, it really doesn't matter. They'll get wet out here, but it doesn't really matter. So they store real nice up in here. Then we'll go around, and like I say, I've got it configured right now for a solo. So I got both mattresses stacked on. And I've got a few things stored in here right now. See, I bought this little table that stores in here. And I've made a couple mods in here. Like I say, we've added these extra sockets, and I think I've shown in other videos. I've also added a little place underneath here, and it's just a little wooden bracket. I just used some Velcro to put them up on the top there so they can be pulled down, and the phone just sets up in here. That kind of keeps it off your feet. I might actually add a plug up here by my head eventually, but for now this is going to work out pretty good. I've also got this guide here for when your battery goes down. If you're out and you don't want it to drop below 50%, you may think 50% of 12 is 6, but it's not. It gives you a little graph there, shows you how it works. And right now it's plugged in, so it's got 13.6, and I actually had it plugged in without the plug. It was still reading really high, so almost full. So it's a newer camper, so the battery's holding real well right now. So go around, and I've got another thing I've got here. I got this at Harbor Freight. This is a rope light that's solar powered, and I've got an actual little panel in here that actually charges it. It's not very bright. I bought it thinking it would be good for if you didn't have power, but it's pretty dim, so it doesn't work as well as I thought it would. Alright, coming on outside, we'll go around back. And I'm showing you some of the mods out here before in another video, but anyway, on this I did go to Walmart. Very good to get these here. Here are just these little brackets. You definitely want to get those. They have one with a towel rack. I haven't seen that yet, but I want to do something with that. I haven't figured out my towels yet, but that's working out good for me. Just first time I've put them on, and one thing bad is you have a tendency to want to pull the drawer open with this. Kind of wish they'd just taken these and turned them this way, and then they would have been towel racks and handles. And then what I've got over here, See, I'm not going to go through everything I've got, but past, like I said, I've got the extra plugs, and those are surge protected if you need it. I've got normal rope lights for 110. I've got 2 of those, and I've got my normal extra extension cord just for if you have a side tent that you want some power to, or I actually went to a place that didn't have enough cord with. I got plugged into the house right now, and it wasn't enough to get to where I needed to go, so I actually had to use this to extend even further. And this is something I just purchased. I really like it. It's a rope light that's run off the USB, and it's 10 foot, and like I say, you can plug it into your normal USB, and it's pretty bright. Pretty impressed with the brightness on that. And I've added a USB back here so I can use it back here. And then it also comes with its own little battery pack here that has a flashlight on it, and then it also plug in itself. So it also plug in and power that up as well. So, and then this is kind of neat because it comes with a battery pack basically that you can use to charge other devices. It's not very good. It's like kind of a smaller one, so it probably wouldn't charge the device but maybe 1 or 2 times. So it's more for the light than anything else. So let's see, going on around here, I'll just show you what I've got. Just for going, I've got this. I went ahead and got this collapsible table from Walmart, which I've only used once. Of course, I've got just a normal chair, and I think everybody needs some kind of cover or some kind for either their picnic table. So I've got this 9x9. I've got a 12x12 that I take sometimes, but on this trip I'm just taking this one. Also, you want a gray water bucket, unless you just want to dump it on the ground, which I usually try to put that underneath your drain. And let's see what else we got here. Of course, you're going to want to get your chalks. I've got a set of 4 here that I use on the road. At home, I just got 1 set in the back here, and I just cut some wooden ones for the front. And I usually leave those in place, that way I know where to put it in here. A lot of people want to back one of these into their parking spot. I tried doing that at first, and I'm not good at backing. And you know, if you run around these tags too long, you realize that these handles are what you really want to do. Basically, if you got a flat driveway like I do, you just back it in the general area, disconnect it from the car, and just grab the handle and roll it right where you need it. If it's a little bit hilly, you might want to have someone help you out just in case. Maybe carry some chalks with them. That way they can block a wheel if it starts to try to get away from you. But unless you got a big hill, it shouldn't do that. So eventually, I've seen the mods for these here, and I really like them. Because the trouble is, when you hook this up to a small vehicle like my CRV, sometimes you have a hard time getting that wheel off. You have to kind of have someone stand on the back of your camper, or pull up here to try to pull that wheel off. So the newer ones, like I said, they have a bracket here that you pull off, and this whole piece comes out, and then you just throw it in the camper. I do like that idea. A couple other things I added to the camper was I did add a top. I've got this one bin here that has blankets and stuff in it, because this is set up where my wife can go with me too, and then we pull out this stuff. But I made a top on here to make this into a table. That way I can put a laptop up on there and use that. So it's just velcroed onto the top. It's a little thin piece of wood. Another thing I did also was I did go buy a generator. In Kentucky, where I'm at, we have electric sites most of the time, but occasionally we do go to sites, and I'm going to be doing some stuff this summer and this fall. So found this one. I've always heard good things about the Honda, and they're close to $1,000 or over. This here, the PowerMate, it's exclusively made for Walmart, and I got it. It's a little bit under $500. The claim, it's got really good reviews, and the claim on it is that it's actually Yamaha parts inside of it, and I'm very impressed with it so far. It doesn't take much to get it started. I pulled it 3 times after I added the oil, and it started right up. And it's real easy to get started. It's real quiet, and it's actually, it's a 2000. So if you put it in the heavy load, I believe you could probably run the air conditioner off of that. But that should come in pretty handy. And that's all I've got right now with the add-ons. And if you have any add-ons that you may have done, let me know. Put on a comment on here and let me know what you've come up with, because I always like everybody else's ideas. That's where I've got most of mine. So that's about all I got.